SBA Publications.
Hello, children. How are you all? I hope that you are doing very well at your homes. So, today's video is about a birthday present. And who doesn't like birthday presents? All of you do. So do I. So, let us start our 10th chapter of literature. And the name of the chapter is The Birthday Present. So, let us begin the video. The Nawab's palace glittered in the sun. The grounds were wet. The trees dripped steadily. The grass was wild and uncut. So, here it is the description of a Nawab's house which is glittering in the sun. That means the sun is shining very brightly and the palace is glittering. The grounds were wet. That means the rain had been here a little while ago. The trees dripped steadily. The grass was wild and uncut. So, this is the description of the Nawab's house. As the car drew up the porch, the Nawab came out to meet them. He shook hands with Mr. and Mrs. Malik and ruffled Dev's hair. So, here the Nawab uh, came out to meet who? Mr. and Mrs. Malik. So, that means in the car, Mr. and Mrs. Malik came to visit the Nawab. Come along, your puppy is waiting for you. He is a fine, strong little fellow. He has his mother's sweet temper, his father's good looks. Look after him well. Dave nodded speechlessly. His puppy. So, here, Dave is the child of Mr. and Mrs. Malik and he has come to visit Nawab Sahab. So here, the Nawab is speaking to Dev and is saying that come along. That means he has brought a puppy for him, and the puppy is waiting for Dev. And then the Nawab is telling that the puppy is as sweet as his mother and looks as good as his father. So now he is saying that you should take good care of him. And Dave nods. Leaving the car near the porch, they began to walk towards the kennels. They walked around a huge shaggy peepal tree and then they stopped dead. So now they left the car and they're walking through the kennels to look for the dog. Right in front of them, about 100 yards away, a dog stood tied to a tree. So, right in front of them, there was a dog who was tied to a tree. He was big and black and gaunt. His ribs stood out and his flanks caved in, and he was scared all over. Although he was an Alsatian, this dog's head hung down. His tail was stuck between his legs. His fur was rough, malted, and caked with dried blood. Behind the dog, two men were digging what appeared to be a long, shallow trench. Just in front, another man stood waiting, a rifle under his arm. So here we have a description of this dog who is tied to the tree and his condition doesn't look well. He is very scared and his fur is rough and is caked with dried blood. That means his fur has dried blood covering it. And here, behind the dog, two men were digging something and they had a rifle under their arm. Mr. Malik was the first to break the silence. What is happening? He asked. Why is that why is that dog tied up there? So Mr. Malik questions the situation. He's saying, what is happening here? Why have you tied the dog to the tree? The Nawab did not reply for a long time and then he turned his head away, as if he could not bear to look at the dog. So the Nawab at first does not reply, but then he also looks away because he could not look at the dog. He was unable to do so. I am sorry I brought you this way. I had forgotten Raja. He is to be shot today. Those men are digging his grave. So the dog's name is Raja, and the Nawab is saying, I am sorry that I brought you this way. I forgot about this dog, Raja. who is to be shot today. That means they are going to kill the dog today and they are digging his grave. As the dog heard his name, he lifted his head and turning, stared at them from dark, dark eyes. It was a long, steady stare, mournful, sad, betrayed. To Dev, it seemed to be directed straight at him. It then dropped its head again, waiting. Dave cried out, "Shot! Why must the dog be shot?" So now, hearing his name, the dog reacted. He was looking at his owner with sad eyes, his deep black eyes. And then, this word that this dog is to be shot today, this made Dave question, "Why must the dog be shot? Why are you killing the dog?" The Nawab said gently, "I am truly sorry you had to see this today. It should have been a joyful day for you. But yes, Raja has to be shot. He was one of the best police dogs I have ever trained. We sold him last year to a big zamindar." So here, Nawab is telling Dev that this shouldn't be something for you to hear today, as you are getting a puppy today. So it should have been a happy day for you. But now that you have heard this, I have to tell you that this dog must be shot today, and this dog was one of the best police dogs that the Nawab had ever trained. That means this Nawab is a dog trainer and he has trained this dog. And he also tells that last year this dog Raja was sold to a big zamindar. He had sent one of his own men to be trained with the dog as its handler. So with the dog, the zamindar sent one of his men to be trained with the dog as he will be the handler of the dog. He will take care of the dog. Last week I was passing that way and I decided to take a look at the dog. I always try and keep track of all my dogs. So here the Nawab is saying that I was passing by from that way and I decided to take a look at my dog as I always try and keep track of all my dogs. So whichever dog he sells, he keeps track of all the dogs, how they are doing, whether the owner is happy or not. He paused, as though to steady his voice. I found Raja. He was chained in the courtyard with a thick, short chain, so that he could barely move or even stand. He was thin, and when he saw me, he snarled, growling and snapping his teeth in an absolute frenzy of rage. So, when he reached there, he found that Raja was tied to a very small chain that was making him unable to move. He could not even move. And when Raja saw him, he started to bark at him, snare at him in rage, in anger. So the dog was angry at the Nawab. When the Zamindar came out, I asked him what has happened to the dog. The dog was insanely ferocious, he said. No one could go near him. He was always chained day and night. So the Nawab is saying that I asked from the Zamindar what has happened to him. And he says that the dog was chained all day and he was ferocious. Ferocious means he was very angry, very extremely angry. No one could even go near him. Why? Because he was angry. And he was chained all day and all night. He was tied to a chain. The Nawab's voice hardened. I was not at all satisfied with the explanation. So the Zamindar had told him that the dog has become ferocious. That's why we have to chain him all day and all night. And when the Nawab listened to this explanation, he was not satisfied. But I pretended to believe him. Why he was not satisfied? Because it was his dog. He knew him well, and what the Zamindar was saying was not believable at all. So, but the Nawab pretended to believe what he said. I went into the house and over a cup of tea, I learned what had happened. So I went in their house for a tea and there I found out what had happened. He had bought the dog not so much to guard him as to provide him with some amusement. He had two wrestlers who wrestled with each other every evening for the amusement of the zamindar. So what happened? The Nawab found out that the zamindar purchased the dog for his amusement, for his fun, and not for his safety. But Raja was a police dog. And here he also tells that the Zamindar had two wrestlers, and in the brackets it has given the word Pahalwans. So he had two Pahalwans who fought together for his amusement, for his fun. It struck him one day that it would be much more amusing to have them fight with the dog instead of with each other. So the Zamindar thought, let these wrestlers fight with the dog instead of fighting with each other. The man will fight a dog, which does not sound good at all. He gave them sticks and told them to attack the dog and see if he could fight with them. So the Zamindar gave those wrestlers sticks to hit the dog, and he wanted to see whether the dog would fight them back or not. At first, Raja was puzzled, but when they hit him again and again with the sticks, he attacked ferociously. At first, the dog could not understand what is happening, but when he was hit again and again with the stick, he attacked back ferociously as he was a trained police dog. Every evening, he was let loose and they beat and struck him with sticks. So, every evening, they let him loose and then they will start beating him. Day by day, he grew more and more savage. So, day by day, he became a mad dog savage. He was covered with open wounds. If I could, I would have killed the Zamindar then and there. So here the Nawab is getting angry and he is saying that day by day the dog was covered in wounds, and if I could, I would have killed the Zamindar. This is what the Nawab is saying. He was frightened when he saw how angry I was. I told him I was taking the dog away and he offered no objections. So the Nawab got angry and the Zamindar was frightened. He got scared because the Nawab was very angry and he said, I am taking my dog back. And the Zamindar did not object to it. Somehow I muzzled Raja and brought him back. So somehow he was able to bring him back. I thought I would keep him and care for him until he regained his health and sweetness of temper. So he said, I thought I will take care of my dog until he becomes well the way he was earlier. The Nawab shook his head sadly. I haven't got the time to do it, and I don't know if it would work. Perhaps he was kept constantly with only one person and given plenty of love and kindness, he might respond. But I have to spend a lot of time with the other dogs, and who else would take Raja? So now he is saying that I did not have that much time to take care and give love to Raja so that he gets back to his natural state, but I am not able to do so, and no one will take Raja with him now, him or her now, as he has become a savage. So that means he has left with no choice but to kill him, because it is hard for him to take special care of the dog. He smiled at the three of them. I'm sorry you had to hear all this. It's not a pretty story, and it's Dave's birthday. His puppy is waiting for him. Come on, let's go and get him. So here, the Nawab is very sad and he is apologizing. He is saying sorry that you had to hear this sad story on the special day of the little boy. That means it was Dave's birthday, and on this day he had to hear this story. But his puppy was waiting for him, and the Nawab is saying, let us go and get your puppy. But Dave stood absolutely still. He was trembling and his tightly clenched hands were damp. Don't shoot him, he said at last. Please, do not shoot him. He knows he is going to be killed and he does not care. Look. So here, Dave is heartbroken to hear the story and he is not moving. He has clenched his fist so hard that it has become damp. And then he requests the Nawab, please don't shoot him. Even the dog knows that he is going to be shot and he does not even care at all. So that means he can see the pain in the eyes of the dog. It was true. The dog was waiting without hope, without fear. So now, as the dog has become mentally uh, unstable or mentally scared, he is so much ready for his death that he doesn't even fear it. He is waiting for his death. He seemed to know that this was the end of the road for him, and he waited without expecting anything else. Nothing worse could happen to him. So now the dog is how the dog is feeling. His feelings are given here in these lines that he is waiting for his death. Dev cried out suddenly, Raja! And the dog turned at the voice and looked at the little boy. For a long moment, the dog and boy stared at each other, their eyes locked wordlessly, and then the dog dropped his head again. So now, then Dev calls the dog's name, Raja. The dog looks at him, and then they both look into each other's eyes for a long time, and then again the dog turns his head down. Tears were tears were trickling down Dev's cheeks. He wiped them off with one hand. He turned to his father. Let me take Raja. I don't want a puppy. You promised me a dog for my birthday. I want Raja. I will look after him. Nawab Sahib says he needs kindness and one person to look after him. I can do that. So here Dev is requesting his father, please let me take Raja. I will give him the care and love that Nawab Sahib is talking about. That the dog needs only one person to give him love and care. Mrs. Malik gave a gasp of pure horror. No, it's quite impossible. But his mother seems scared as the dog is not safe to keep. And she says this is impossible. Mr. Malik said, my dear boy, the dog is savage. You heard. The father is saying that the dog is savage. Tumne khud suna, you heard it yourself. The Nawab said gently, if only it were possible, I wish I could give him to you, Dev. There is nothing I would like better than to save Raja's life. But you are too small. So the Nawab is saying that, my dear boy, you are too small to take care of the dog. And if it was possible, I would have done that. Even I don't like the idea of killing the dog. Dev stopped crying. His mouth set firmly. If I can't have Raja, I don't want any other dog. If he bites me or refuses to stay with me, then you can take him back and shoot him. So, here, Dev is saying, I don't want any other dog but Raja. And if he bites me or if he does something wrong with me, you can take him back and shoot him. But first, let me give it a try. But why don't you give him a chance first? Please. They were saying, please give him a chance first. Malik said, he is ugly. So now she's saying that the dog is ugly. He doesn't look good. Like a wolf. He doesn't even look like a dog. So his mother is saying that he doesn't even look like a dog. He looks like a wolf. He's so ugly. They've said he has beautiful eyes. When he is looked after, he too will look beautiful. Please let me take him. Now they were saying that the dog has beautiful eyes and he will look very beautiful after being taken care of. So please let me take him. The Nawab said, I think it just might work. Now the Nawab is being positive and saying that this idea might work. His face lost its sad expression. So the Nawab was not sad anymore. Mrs. Malik, let they go up to Raja and untie him. We will all watch. If the dog attacks the child, then I will shoot him. If Raja comes with Dev, then there may be a chance to save him. I will give you all the help I can. He was really a wonderful dog. If this is a chance for him, I would like him to have it. So here, Nawab Sahab is also positive, and Mrs. Malik is also saying, okay, let the boy go to the dog. Okay, Nawab is saying, so the Nawab is saying, Mrs. Malik, let Dev go to the dog and we will let the dog loose. If he comes with Raja, then it will be okay. There will be a chance for the dog to get better. But if he bites Dev, I will shoot my dog right away. So let us give it a chance. Mrs. Malik said nothing. The Nawab looked at them and then moved away. Mrs. Malik said, all right, Dev, go up to Raja and untie him from the tree and bring him to us. So the mother says that go to the dog, untie him and bring it to us. They watched nervously as the boy ran lightly across the wet grass to where the dog stood, his head lagging, not crying. What happened to him? As he approached the dog, Dev held his hand out palm upwards and said softly, Raja, I'm going to untie you and take you home with me. No one is going to hurt you. I promise you that you will be my own dog, and never, never again will anyone hurt you. You and I will be always together. So here, Dev goes up to the dog and assures him that I will untie you and then I will take you with me, and then no one will ever make any harm to you, and we will be best friends together. I will not let anyone hurt you. The dog lifted his head, but his tail still dropped dejectedly. His eyes were dull, clouded over. The boy put his hand on the rope and began to untie the knot. The men who had been digging the grave turned to watch. The man holding the gun stiffened a little. Across the grass on the other side, Mr. and Mrs. Malik and the Nawab watched almost without breathing. Nothing moved, nothing stirred. So here the boy goes up to the dog, tries to untie him, and everyone there became aware, alert that if something happens, we have to do something. As there was also a little boy. The dog began to growl, low in his throat, but Dave continued to talk to him softly, soothingly. So the dog began to growl, but Dave was calm and he was talking to the dog very softly. I won't hurt you, boy. Just come with me. Dave says, I will not hurt you. Just come with me. The knot was untied. Dave took up the rope and slowly, very slowly, the dog followed him as he walked back. So the dog does not bite him but follows the Dave, follows the boy with him. So that was the story of kindness and love of a little boy. So let's read the vocab now. Ruffled. Ruffled means something that is ruffled is no longer smooth or neat. Ruffled means something that has become rough. Gaunt. Gaunt means if someone looks gaunt, they look very thin. Very thin means gaunt. Usually because they have been very ill or worried. For they have been ill, sick, or worried. Flank. Flank means the side of an animal between the ribs and the hip. In an animal's body, the side which is between ribs and the hip. Trench. Trench means a long, narrow channel that is dug into the ground. Betrayed means uh, if you betray someone who loves or trusts you, your actions hurt and disappoint them. So if you cheat them. Now the next word is ferocious. That means if you describe actions or feelings as ferocious, you mean that they are intense and determined. Intense and determined. That means very intensely done, extremely. And I would say the anger of the dog was ferocious. So he was ferocious. So that's it for the chapter. I hope you loved it and enjoyed it, and it has made you a little emotional as well. So now we have this exercise, which I'm sure you can do it on your own. So practice this, do your literature well, and I'll be seeing you in the next video with another interesting chapter. Take care of yourselves, keep on learning. Bye bye.